Your inability to focus is the number one reason why you're not making the progress you want. Now, if you clicked on this video, put it in full screen so that way you don't get distracted. And that's the problem. You're so easily distracted and you have such a low attention span. But we're going to fix that, inshallah. So don't worry. But I want you to look at focus differently. Focus is not automatic, it's a skill. Focus is easy, but you make it hard. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the circle diagram where it has like the core in the center, then it has like multiple layers surrounding it. And it's the same with focus. Pretend the center is focus, but there's multiple layers of distractions that are preventing you from accessing it. And that's why it feels so hard to read a book or to have a genuine conversation or even having a proper deep work session because it feels so hard to access your focus. There's three main layers of distractions that are making it 10 times harder for you to focus. And the first one is that you keep putting yourself in situations where your willpower gets tested. So you can barely read half a page from a regular book or even an Islamic book. Like it just feels so boring. Not only that, is that your phone is right there. And so instantly you imagine yourself watching a fun YouTube video. And so that's more fun than reading a book. That's less effort than reading a book, right? Or if you try to study, coincidentally on your computer desk, there's also a PS5 or an Xbox connected to your monitor screen. Of course, you're going to be tempted to play, and you can't seem to watch a beneficial video because you think it's boring, but you think that while you're literally eating a Boston cream donut from Tim Hortons, bro. Like, of course, it's going to be boring. You're literally stuffing a whole entire donut in your face. So don't make it so that your environment sets you up to fail. That's the problem. There's so many layers of distractions that are preventing you from accessing your focus. So don't make it so easy for yourself to fall for cheap pleasure. Make it harder to get distracted. Be harder on yourself. Make it harder. Like literally set up your environment in a way that makes it harder to get distracted. Set up your environment to work for you, not against you. The second thing is task switching. From the book Thinking Fast and Slow, it talks about switching tasks actually causes mental fatigue, and mental fatigue lowers your performance. It's like you might not realize it, but when you sit down to work for school or for business, how many times do you check your notifications? And be honest. Be honest. Like how many times did you even scroll down from this video maybe? Maybe you didn't put it in full screen. How many times did you scroll down this video and stack up mentally what you're going to watch next? So when you switch between tasks, it's harder to refocus, isn't it? Switching tasks causes mental fatigue, and mental fatigue lowers your focus. The third thing that's distracting you and preventing you from reaching your focus is prioritizing DHT. Now, if you're familiar with testosterone, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but that's not what I'm talking about today. When I say DHT, I mean you're prioritizing dopamine hit traps. You're being a slave to cheap pleasures. So, why do you think dopamine, sorry, why do you think, messed that up, but it's fine, we keep going. Why do you think social media is so dangerous? You don't just get the dopamine from how entertaining a video is. You get the dopamine from the novelty, from the amount, from the never ending variety of topics that you can look at, you can learn, that you can watch, that you can consume. So, why do you think so many people struggle with maybe yourself, like doom scrolling? It's not even like there's not, you don't get dopamine from the entertainment as much as you do from the novelty. That's what keeps you hooked. So, stop being a slave to cheap pleasure and see it for what it really is, a distraction preventing you from focusing on what really matters, which is your goals. So, again, just a quick recap: focus is a skill, focus is easy, but there's multiple layers of distractions preventing you from accessing it. Stop putting yourself in situations where your willpower gets tested. Make your environment work for you, not against you. Design your environment in a way that makes it harder to indulge in cheap pleasure. And be aware the next time you doom scroll, like the next time you're on YouTube, be aware that it's the multiple topics that you're switching between is causing your mental fatigue, right? Because information overload equals mental fatigue, and mental fatigue equals lower performance, right? And so mental fatigue is literally lowering your focus, and then novelty is what's keeping you hooked. That's it for today. And I know it may not have been the best video. It's only my third video. The goal is to get through the first 100 as soon as possible so I can get better faster. But inshallah, we'll see what happens. That's it for today. Assalamu alaikum.